So I just wanted to start this video off with going to our course and showing you where you can find the assignment sheet and other files. So once you're on our course page on Canvas, you go to Files, and then under Files it says Course Schedule, Essay Assignment Sheets, Handouts, Miscellaneous, PowerPoints and Posters, Reading, Syllabus, etc. So our essay assignment sheet is under obviously that file. So it says essay number 2, English 100 Miller Current Perspectives. And then you can click on it from there to review. You can also download this file. Here's the download link here. You can download the file if you need to download it and want to save it on your computer or on your phone for easy access. But it is always there available to you on the Canvas website and the app. I have already uploaded the claims charts that you made earlier in class, and they're right here under Handouts Miscellaneous for claims Miller group work. You go ahead and just click on that, and it is the same situation. This is taking a little longer to load because there are a series of images that were turned into a PDF. So let's just give this a minute so that it loads. And so these are here as well for you to look at. It's weird. Just looks like one thing. Oh, so I uploaded the wrong file, but I'll fix it. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is look at the assignment sheet one more time before we launch into the research portion of it. So looking at our assignment sheet, here's our prompt again. It's how does Miller's argument compare and contrast with the current public discourse? Remember, the public discourse is anything that is currently being said in the media, news, and society, right? So our government, etc., regarding undocumented immigrants and CBP in the United States. Here's the information about, in addition to the book, you will have to include 2 outside sources to back up your argument. One outside source must be academic, and both sources should be published in the past 2 years. Obviously, this is a part here about your thesis. It says your thesis must, 1, assert the arguments of the book, and those are really, all those claims you came up with today in class, and 2, mainstream perspectives of undocumented immigrants in CBP. So what is really that culture? I think I went into detail in class well enough about what are the different approaches you could take to the essay. So I'm going to save that for further discussion another time. Make sure that you read the whole assignment sheet all the way through. It gives you some other ideas here. So now that we've sort of refreshed, you're kind of looking for current ideas or perspectives on immigration. So if we go back to these are the keywords that we came up with today. So I'm just going to have this here on the side for access. So you can use these keywords to think about research, and you can also use the claim sheets, which again, I need to make sure you have all of them, and looking at what people wrote. So this says instilling fear of security to Americans to promote greater needs of protection. So even looking at this claim, you could pull out some of these words here, like security and protection could become keywords that you combine with Border Patrol or immigration, right? So looking at the claims that each group did will also help you figure out what keywords you can use. So I'm just gonna, okay, so I fixed the situation with our PDF. So now all of them, they're here for you to refer to, of the ones that were created in class. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. First, I'm going to take you to the Fullerton College website. You should have, this PDF at your side, and also our terms that we came up with in class and any other terms you have there, so that you can just, even our assignment sheet while you're doing research, those are the things that you're going to need to refer to. So we're going to go to databases here. So this is what we're going to, and then you're going to click on EBSCOhost, this one here. Then just click at the top one right here, and then click continue. So once you're here, I would just say you're going to ignore all the stuff from here down and just put some words into the search. And then after you've put some words into the search engine, then you can start to sort of narrow your choices. So I'm going to start with the words deportation and detainment. So let me go ahead and put those in. So now I have deportation detainment. Let me hit search. And this only gave me 87 results. So these keywords might be problematic together because, again, this system has millions of articles. So there really isn't any reason why you should be getting such a low search unless you're really looking for something specific. So in addition to that, we need to change this date here to 2015. And when we change that date, it's going to limit our results even more. Now we only have 30. Again, this is not looking good. And then we still have to click on academic journals. And now we have one. So obviously this is not a search that would work. I don't even think it's necessary to look at this article because you don't really want to be looking at something that's just one result. So let me change this to an or and see what happens and hit search. And now we have 18,000 instead of 87. So already that's a difference. You always want to double check here on the side that the things you changed are done. The 2015 is still there, but as you notice, under source types, the academic journals is no longer checked. So pretty much every time you put in new words and click search, you're going to need to make sure you check the box for academic journals. Okay, so now we have 405 results. And as you can see, this is like about Germans. This one's about Armenians. So we need to further narrow the search to United States because it is still too broad because of the results. So again, every time you do that, it alters all of your search results. So you need to go back and click on academic journals. And so let's click on this very first one here that has blacklist foreign terrorist organizations, classified information, national security, and due process. Okay, so this is published in 2017, University of Pennsylvania Law Review. So this is what you want to be looking at, like who put it out. These are the authors. And then you look at all the other things that they are. These are other search terms. And then this right here, the abstract, is going to be a summary of the article and what the article is about. If you take the time to read this, maybe you could click, pause on the video so that you can read this. What I already read it, and when I read it earlier, I wasn't sure exactly what this was doing. But then when I got down to sort of this bottom part of it, I realized that essentially this is very much like a pro border security, a pro like banning foreign terrorist organizations, like claiming who are foreign terrorist organizations, sort of justifying why it's important to continue to target these foreign FTOs, right? Which is the terminology that they use. So once I got to that, I was like, okay, well, this is a very particular argument that's obviously very different from what Miller's making. You could use this article if you wanted to sort of show that, in 2017, right, there's still this push for sort of racial profiling groups of people and a justification for why domestic terrorism shouldn't be looked at, which is also in this paragraph if you read it. So once I got to the bottom of the paragraph, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I saw this right here. It says author affiliations. And then it tells me that one of them is from the University of Pennsylvania Law School, and the other one is a lieutenant in the United States Coast Guard. So you do have this very like sort of government military perspective that's kind of going on and law perspective in this article. So it would be interesting maybe for some of you to look at. Otherwise, I would move on. So I think that those search terms of deportation and detainment are actually a little bit too narrow and problematic. I'm not sure why this is spinning right now. Let's just use a different window. So let's try something that's actually a little more broad and specific to our topic. So I'm going to try the word undocumented. And then try undocumented. And then maybe rights. And then United States. Then I'm going to do a plus, actually, add some more things here. Undocumented, and then immigrants. And then I'm going to do rights here. So this is a lot of ands. We'll see what happens. So 2000, not a huge amount, but maybe more specific articles. So our year is 1975. Got to change that to 2015. So because the brand new search kicked me back to the original window. And then I got to click academic journals for academic. And then so UN human rights violations here at home, the plight of undocumented and DACA students in South Carolina, USA. Seems pretty on topic, as this is much better topic than using the other keywords. No papers, you can't have water, a critique of localities, denial of utilities to undocumented immigrants. So this is pretty like current and different than the things that we've heard in Miller. So let's just look at this one. So when we look at this one again, you want to just kind of look at the authors, look at who's putting it out. This is another law review journal. And then again, we have the abstract. I would say go ahead and just sort of pause the video for a little bit to read a little bit of the abstract. Okay, so I think that this has some interesting arguments that maybe would work with the essay. I don't know, it seems a little bit off topic, but you can make those decisions later if you start reading it, once you start reading it. But I do think that this line right here kind of shows some important information. The practice of denying utility services to individuals who cannot provide a social security number violates U.S. federal law and is contrary to international human rights norms and obligations. And so this kind of brings us back to the idea of who has rights. So that's why I think it could be good. So once you decide that something could be good, that might work for you, you want to go here to where it says email and click on email. It's already going to have this filled in, and then I'm going to go ahead and type in my email as if I were going to email it to myself. And then here where it says citation format, you got to click on there, and then you have to go to MLA because that is the citation format you're going to need for your paper. I always like to, in the subject line, copy and paste the title of the article so I know what I emailed myself. In addition, you want to put something on there. From EBSCOhost, it might kick to your spam, so you want to look for it there if you don't get the email. So once I do that, here this is checked. I want the file as a PDF as a separate attachment. I have a citation in MLA, and then now I'm just going to send it to myself. Once I do that, I'm done. So later, let's say you forgot to send yourself the citation. You do have to actually find the article again, but you can click Cite and scroll down. And here it is in MLA format, and you'll just like copy and paste that to the end of your paper, which is just perfect. Okay, so you can do this with news articles as well. So I'm going to go back now, and I'm going to leave the same search terms since they worked for the first time, even though that we had a lot of them. I'm going to take off, and we'll look how many take off academic journals, and filter for news articles. And the logo for news articles is news. And then some of them say, yeah, it's going to be news, the news logo. So decision to end DACA highlights need for policies to support undocumented students. This is from 2017. I think that maybe for news articles, it might be better to just see what's going on in 2018. So I'm just going to type in 2018 here, because a lot of things have happened in the past month. So let's see. So we had feds claim they don't know why activist Ravi Ragbir was arrested. I'm not sure what's going on with that. We'd obviously have to click on it and figure it out. And then there's other ones here. So you're going to follow the same steps as you would with the previous one, and then just email it to yourself.